Yo, what's up, you guys? It is Tuesday, August 26th, and we're back with another TnS Daily review. So, really quick, just jumping right into things here. We don't have any pre-market setups, so no honorable mentions. We actually don't even have any setups at all anywhere. So, let me turn on the FEG thing. We have lots of FEGs, but no TNS setups. So let's just jump right into like 9:30. Not a single setup there. Let me actually back up so we can clearly see it. But there's no FEGs here being made on the 5 minute. And yeah, basically just kept going. We didn't get our first setup until about like 3 p.m. So I'm just skipping forward until we get to about 3 p.m. You can see that there's no setup being formed yet. Till we get about right here. So let me back up just a little bit. So we got this long setup here finally at 320, and it gets tagged in about at 335 right on this candle. The TP is for 25 points and the stop loss is way down here. So since I know it won, I'm just going to add this as trade number one for versions 1 and 2 as a win. Okay, so once again, this play did win. So I'm just going to fast forward it so you can see the TP is right here for 25. We'll just do this. 25-point TP. And it did take a little minute, but it got TP, as you can see. And it ran for a little bit extra. You could have definitely got 1R out of it, maybe like 1.6R, 1.5, around there. But backing up, let me talk about what happens here. So in the process of the long playing out, we actually had a short setup here. So we're only focusing on the short now. Yes, it is a short setup, but it's actually gets tagged in right at our cutoff time, which means it will not be counted because it gets tagged in. You can see this is 345 candle. It gets tagged in at 350, which is our cutoff time. And so it will not be counted because that is our cutoff time at 350. So that means that this was the only play of today, which means, this would be our final stats. Let's tally it up and get our final results. Oh, and just to show you, 4 o'clock really. Yeah, that's right about 4 right there. So yeah, let's just see our final results here. All right, so these would be our final results for the TNS and the 5 minute. They both had the same exact results because they took the same exact trade. It's only one. So both versions today with 0.7R on the day, 25 points, and that's with one win and no losses because that short was right at 350, and on top of that, truly the long gets tagged in first anyways. You wouldn't even really take the short anyways, and it's past the cutoff time. But yeah, pretty interesting day for the 5 minute. We're definitely not getting anywhere close to our usual amount of setups. One setup in a day is very, very low for 5 minute TNS, extremely low. So we'll see if the rest of this week can pick up speed. All right, so let's see how the 1 minute did. All right, so here I am on the 1 minute chart now with our 1 minute settings, 25-point stop loss, version 2 mode checked. And let's just jump right into what happened on the 1 minute today, starting at 9:30, of course. So we did not have any setups for a while, really. It took us a very long time to get a 1 minute setup, and I think we only had like 3 setups total today. And so our first setup is formed basically at 9:50. That kind of is a long time for the 1 minute TNS. Usually it generates setup, right off 9:30 for the most part. But our first setup of the day is basically at 9:50, and it was a win. So let me back up here. You can see using the lowest entry, that's really the highest entry here. Sorry, because it's a long. It is for 21 points, and so it's going to be a win for 21 points for the first trade. Okay, so once again, trade number one is a win for 21 points. You can see this one actually you could have held for a while. You could have held this one, I think, all the way up to that high, I'm pretty sure. Let's just see. So yeah, you could have got like a good like 57 points out of it for this one. But anyways, moving on, we didn't have another setup for a while. I'm just gonna fast forward it really quickly. There's nothing there yet. Okay, so we get about right here. So let me pause it there, back up a little bit. So you can see we have this short setup here for 11 points, and it did get TP. It just took a little minute. I'm just going to mark out the stop loss here. And remember, our stop loss is 25 points. Yes, this is a 25-point stop. It's here in the settings. And it did not get hit. So trade number 2 is going to be a win for 11 points. Now, just to show you it did win, you can see right there it did get TP for 11 points. This one also you could have held for a little decent amount of points, I think. Maybe not, would have got you break even there. But anyways, just fast forwarding it here till we got another setup. I don't think we got another one for a while. So let me actually back up to make sure this wasn't anything. Okay, that wasn't anything. Still no setup. Okay, till we get about right here. Sorry. So this right here is a short. Let's double check. It's probably somewhere way to the left. Yep, it sure is. So you can see this actually is a real setup. It's version 2, of course. That's what we're here to back test, or really forward test. But yeah, the entries here, the stop loss up here. So I'm just gonna mark out the stop, the TP down there for 17 points. And since, of course, we did just see it win, it's gonna be trade number 3 as a win for 17. And once again, the stop loss up here, it does take a little minute, but it did get TP right there. And so that was actually pretty much the last setup of the day. This one, there is a setup here, but unfortunately it did not get tagged in. The highest entry, you can see we just missed it. And then it basically hits 4 o'clock before it gets tagged in. So as you can see, basically right here is 4 o'clock, which means these would be our final stats for today. So let's tally it all up and get our final results. All right, so these would be our final results for the 1 minute TnS. Today it walked away with 1.9 R, 49 points, and that's with 3 wins and 0 losses on the day. So pretty decent day for 1 minute TnS, nothing but wins. It's always a good sign, but still not as many setups as it usually takes. 1 minute TnS definitely takes anywhere from about 8 to 13 setups per day, and this is only 3 setups. That's very, very low for the 1 minute TnS. So we'll see if it can pick up some speed here for the rest of the week and see how it does. But yeah, guys, it's going to wrap it up for this daily review. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.